Hello there, I'm Sam from So Let's Sparkle with Sam. And if you join me for the first time today, hello and welcome. And if you've joined me before and you've come back, welcome back. So, as I said, I'm Sam from So Let's Sparkle with Sam, and today I'm going to chat to you about a hashtag gift to November. So I'm really excited about this. When Alison from So Like Dotty suggested that I join in for a gift of November, I was just overwhelmed with excitement because I love Christmas. And the reason that I love Christmas is I love gifting. I just love the look on someone's face when you give them a gift, particularly when you give them a handmade gift. And it's just that I just get real joy from gifting. So I am full of ideas for you today. I also love Christmas so much that I also don't like to spoil surprises. So I'm going to talk a lot about gifts that I've already made in the past, some of which I am going to make again for Christmas presents, but I'm not going to talk about necessarily who they're for. Because I don't want to give away any surprises. So I'm going to talk about lots of ideas for gifts, but not necessarily what I'm going to make for the challenge, although they will come up as well. So as I said, we're going to talk today about hashtag a gift in November, and it's run by the lovely Alison at So Like Dotty and Adam at Adam Sews. And basically it's an Instagram challenge. And you pop on the 30th of November, you pop onto Instagram, tag in Alison and Adam, and you can pop pictures of gifts that you've made throughout the month of November. So that's basically the rules. You have to make it throughout the month of November. It has to be a gift that has some element of sewing in, and multiple makes will count as one entry. So for example, if you make a Christmas stocking for someone, that's one entry. If you make 5 Christmas stockings, that's still one entry. But if you make a Christmas stocking and a makeup bag, that's 2 entries. So I hope you get the idea. So make all your gifts, get ahead for Christmas so you're not the mad rush in December, which I will definitely be in anyway, even if I sew all the way through November, because that's just the way that I roll. Get the lion's share of it done in November and then be in for a prize. So the great thing about it is if you put your make on Instagram and tag in Alison and Adam, you may win a prize, and there are some fantastic prizes available. I'll pop the sponsors up here, and as you can see, one of the sponsors is Always Knitting and Sewing. Now I do some tutorials for Always Knitting and Sewing, and I found them completely by accident when I started teaching myself to sew during lockdown, because obviously, like us all, I couldn't go out to get any materials and things that I needed, and I just found that their customer service was second to none. They were absolutely fantastic, and for a beginner like me, they just helped me out so much. And then basically they kind of like watched me grow and watched my sewing process, and then asked if I would be up for doing some tutorials for them. So that's that connection there. So we'll be talking about Always Knitting and Sewing quite a lot in this vlog, because I use a lot of their tutorials and some of the tutorials are mine. So that's why that will come up a lot. So fantastic prizes that you can win. So it's definitely worth having a go. So let's get on, shall we, with what we can make for Christmas. So as I said before, I'm not going to give too many spoilers away, just so I can keep surprises, because surprises are great. So I'm going to talk, the first couple of things, I'm going to talk about gifts that I've made before, and I'm going to talk about 2 main gifts that I made last year. So a lot of because my kids have all grown up now, a lot of our family friends are all families with adult children. So a lot of the people that I buy for now are adults. They're all adults. So I had to have a real good think about what I could buy that wasn't too expensive, because Christmas is expensive, but that I could buy that was something for the whole family, that the whole family could join in with and enjoy, but was also a luxury gift. So me and my husband put our heads together and we came up with a wine game idea, because we'd seen it, someone had bought us something similar a few years before, but it kind of wasn't packaged very nicely and it wasn't very special. It was just kind of, you know, a generic game. So we came up with this idea that I would make some really nice luxury wine bottle covers. Each family would get 2 wine bottle covers. I will put pictures up of the whole process. And basically the only thing you need to make sure, there is a wine bottle cover on the Knit It Stitch It hub, that there's lots that you can find online for free. The only thing you need to make sure is that the ribbon, it ties at the top, because the whole point of this game is that it's a surprise. You have to guess the wine that's in the bag. So obviously you don't want it to be able to open easily, or that you want it to be able to cover, but you want to be able to open the bottle and not open the bag. So the ribbon has to tie at the top. And then my lovely husband went online and made these lovely cards, the Guess the Wine cards. Then he also found out lots of different types of wine and made little wine description cards. And then we packaged it all up together and each family got 1 Guess the Wine game. Absolutely brilliant. Definitely counts for this challenge because there is an element of sewing in it, because obviously I sewed the wine bags. But a very simple wine bag that probably cost me a couple of quid to make, then made this really lovely luxury game. And the best thing about this present was I got loads of fabulous photos back. You know, oh, thanks so much, Sam, for that present. We had a great night. And then I had a picture of lots of drunken people, which was really lovely, because like, what a nice, you know, what a nice gift to give. I gave a lovely evening and it brought the family together. So that was really nice. So that's a really nice idea, to make a simple present into a much more extravagant gift. So that was my adult family present. I tend to give family presents rather than individual presents, because we just know lots of families. So yeah, so that was my adult family present. And then my children family present was, again, it was more of a gift of my time, but it definitely had an element of sewing in it. So I like to make these lovely felt animals. And I do really love making them. They're my nice evening sew. They take me to my kind of happy place. And they've also helped me a lot with because my dressmaking skills are just starting out, but they've really helped me, because making dresses and outfits for her has kind of helped me with construction and I really love making these, but obviously they take a long time to make. So I thought, well, I can't make all of the children in my life one of those, because I would be there all year. So what I did was I found a free pattern online for a little felt bunny, and it was just a free pattern, really, really simple. It was just body, legs and a head. Body with legs, arms and a head and ears. And then I printed out all of the pieces, cut out the pieces of felt, and then popped all of everything that you need to make it. So a needle, thread, buttons for eyes, a pom-pom for a nose, the felt, in some envelope, some letterbox envelope boxes. Is that what they're called? Letterbox boxes. Sorry. So they go through the letterbox, because of course last year we were still keeping ourselves quite safe, and a lot of the people that I was sending it to, we couldn't go and visit, or we hadn't been able to visit for a while. So it needed to be an easy to send gift. So I sent them with a big do not open until the 25th of December on. And then on Christmas Eve, I sent everybody that had received the gift a video, and it was me saying, "Hi, Merry Christmas," and I did a quick tutorial on how to make the felt bunny. It did take me a little while to do the video, because I wasn't very good. Well, I mean, I'm still learning, But it was really fun to do, and it was just so lovely. And of course, because I knew who I was sending it to, I mentioned lots of people in the video, and it was just so lovely. And again, like the wine game, the best thing about it was the photos that I got back. Oh, they just melted my heart, of all of the special people in my life that that just sewed along with me, made something that they could keep forever. And I still get pictures now saying, you know, oh, took Bunny on the bus, or took Bunny to the park. And it's just lovely. It's just really, really lovely. So so if you are crafty, and if you have scraps of felt or fabric around, it's a really good one to do, you know, and you can do one thing and send it to lots of people, which, although, so that video probably took me a whole day to make, but I sent it, and the boxes took me another day to kind of make them all up, but I sent them to, they did, I think it did 25 gifts. Well, that's really good, because, you know, time wise, do 25 gifts in 2 days is really good. So yeah, so those were my two main gifts for Christmas last year. I have gone something a little bit like that this year for some of my family friends, but I'm not going to tell you what those is. You'll have to wait till, well, you might wait till the 30th of November, or you might have to wait until I do my Christmas vlog to find out what I did then. But yeah, so that's some good ideas. So on to some more kind of personal individual gift ideas. So in the summer was my son's 25th birthday, and I decided to make for him, he wanted a new laptop case, and I had a look online to see if I could buy one, and they were either very, very, very expensive, or they were really boring. They weren't exciting at all. I mean, they were very functional, but my son is, you know, he's quite outlandish. He's, you know, he's got a real sense of humour, a bit of a sense of fun, and I thought that laptop case just wouldn't match him. So I went online and I bought some of this lovely dragon scale fabric, because he loves dragons. All of my family are, we're nerds, and I say that in the most endearing, lovely way, because we are. We're all a bit of nerds, and he loves Dungeons and Dragons. And so I also found some of these lovely dragon zip charms. So what I thought was I would go online and find a laptop case tutorial. Well, I didn't need to go very far, because I went to Knit It Stitch It, and Heather at Knit It Stitch It Hub did a laptop case. Now I had to change it about a bit, because I wanted mine to have a zip top, so I hacked together two of her tutorials, and here is the picture of the finished laptop case that my son got for his birthday. So yeah, so laptop cases, any kind of tech cases, make great gifts, and if you choose funky fabrics to go with them. I've also got this one, I bought it at the same time, this rainbow dragon one, and so yeah, so tech cases, and of course all you need to know is what type of tech your person has, and then you can find the dimensions on the internet really easily. So if you know that someone's got, I don't know, a MacBook Air, you can find the dimensions of a MacBook Air on the internet, and then you can just make it to fit. And that is a really lovely gift, because they are very, very expensive to buy. Now you do need to buy, obviously you need to buy some kind of Bosal foam, which can be a bit expensive, and your zips and things, but it'll still end up cheaper than buying the actual laptop case, and it's something personal that they'll treasure forever, because you've made it just for them. So that's quite a nice idea. However, I've got these fabrics left over, because I bought this one because I didn't know whether to make it in this one first, but I went for this one because I thought this one was more appropriate for my son. So I had to think, oh, I really want to use those fabrics up. What could I make for my son for Christmas with these fabrics? Well, My son and his girlfriend, as I said, big nerds, and both really love Dungeons and Dragons. And Dungeons and Dragons is a game played with dice. And so I thought, oh, I'll make them both matching dice bags, so I can make his and hers dice bags. So I thought, well, that will be easy, won't it? I looked online and I could not find any pattern for a dice bag that was, you know, kind of affordable for me to buy. And the thing is that I did see some that I could buy, but I didn't know what type. It didn't show clearly what the actual bag would look like when it was finished. And I wanted quite a specific type of bag for his dice, because my son's quite picky about things like that. And so I knew it needed to look a certain way. So to the rescue was Rachel from the French Seam. So I watched, there's lots of vloggers that are doing the tour for A Gift in November, and I watched hers. Hers was quite early on, and she mentioned, let me just check, I've written it down in my notes. She mentioned, oh, it was from Apple Green Cottage, and I will put the link below to the free pattern that she shared. It was from Apple Green Cottage, and it was a little jewellery bag, and it had like little pockets for jewellery, and I thought, that's great. Not quite the right size and not quite the right number of pockets, but I thought that's brilliant because I can use that, I can have a little play around with it, and I can make it work. So yes, so I can safely share my gift for my son on this video because I know he will never watch it. So that is my idea for them. So I'm going to make, and I might actually make quite a few dice bags because I know lots of family friends that like to play dice games. So yes, so thank you, Rachel from the French Seams. You have saved Christmas. So the next thing, by the time that this video goes out, it will be the 12th of November. And I'm actually just filming this a couple of days before, but I have, because it is November, I have actually already started some of my Christmas sewing, because you have to get started nice and early. So one of the things that I make quite frequently, and I get asked to make a lot, are fabric baskets. And I love making fabric baskets. They're so easy and simple to make, but they're so handy. I have them all around my house in doing various different jobs, and they are really handy and they make great gifts. So this year I'm going to be making quite a few of the chocolate themed fabric baskets, and they are on the Knit It Stitch It hub. It's my tutorial, and if you find the medium size basket, that one fits a whole tub of chocolates. So your Cadbury's Heroes, your Roses, or whatever, Quality Street, the whole tub will fit in the medium basket, which is, I think, a much nicer way to serve up your chocolates and your Christmas, you know, your Christmassy chocolates. And also then you get to use the tin quicker for buttons and all of those important things. So yeah, so I'm going to be making some fabric baskets. There's lots of fabric baskets tutorials, but the one on the Knit It Stitch It hub, the medium size, my tutorial fits a whole tin of chocolates, which is really handy. And of course you could gift the basket and some chocolates, or you could just gift the basket. I don't really have too many children to make because all of our children have grown up, and I've not quite got grandchildren yet, and all of my friends' children are all grown up and not quite got grandchildren yet. We're kind of in that waiting patiently phase of our life. But I am making for a couple of children, and I'm going to be making some snoods, some little snoods like scarves. I do have a tutorial on my channel for those. And they are really easy, simple to make. And the fabrics that I'm going to use for those is, I've got this gorgeous French terry zebra fabric, which I think will look great. And then I've got some of this lovely graffiti skateboarding fabric there. So they will run up really, really quickly. So that's a nice, quick and easy, simple, and I might just kind of pop something in with that gift. Now, I'm sure this one, a lot of the vloggers will be making, and a lot of them will share ideas for this, but it's a really handy one, and it is one that I am definitely going to be making this year, and it is the humble, the great makeup / toiletry bag. So this is the design I'm going to be making for the ladies. Nice little makeup bag, all fully lined, and with a little charm on. And the ladies will be getting theirs in this lovely fabric. Kind of like, there is a special name for these flowers. I just think they look like posh dandelions, but I can't remember what they're called now, but they are very beautiful. And then they are going to be lined in this lovely purple. And then the boys are going to be getting toiletry bags too, but their toiletry bag, I'm going to be using Heather's little boxed. It's a more kind of manly shape. It's more like a boxed toiletry bag shape on the Knit It Stitch It hub. And I'm going to be using this fabric here. And I think I might make the men's ones waterproof. So I think I might put some ripstop lining into the men's ones. But I just love this fabric. It's just like the moon through the trees fabric. So yeah, so those are my ideas. Oh, what was that? My necklace. Oh, thank you very much. I made it. So this is another thing that I am going to be making for gifts. It is my Scrappy necklace. I absolutely love it, and it is so easy to make. So you just basically need a strip of the material that's about 2.5–3 inches wide, and just the length of your material. And it just snaps off, because I just use little snaps. And it's just great, and you can make it out of any kind of fabric you like. I've used this lovely autumny fabric because it matches my outfit. If you've got a little bit of excuse me, if you have a little bit of liberty spare, you know, if you've kind of had to square off a piece of fabric, it's a great way of using little bits of scrap, and they look great. It is piece scrap of fabric, some beads and a snap. So easy to make, and I thought you might quite like a tutorial. So here's my tutorial of how to make my Scrappy necklace. Enjoy! So I'm going to show you how to make the beaded Scrappy necklace. It's really simple to make. You don't need very many bits of equipment. You will need some kind of snap, or if you've just got another kind of popper or something that you could sew on. I'm going to use these poppers because I've got the snap tool, but you could use a sew on fastener if you haven't got one of those. You need some beads, and these beads I believe are a 20mm diameter bead, and you need about 10 of them. You can get them in big packs and the works and places like that, or you just might have them hanging around the house. So I've had them hanging around from when my kids were smaller, and I've just kind of got beads. You'll need a few clips, and you just need a strip of fabric that's 2.5 inches wide and the whole length of the fabric. So it's a great scrap if you've just had to like trim something up, and you've got a 2.5 inch strip left over. It's perfect. And all you need to do is you need to fold it in half, right sides together, and then clip. And you're going to do that all the way along. These beads out of the way, and I'll bring my sewing machine over so you can see. And I am going to sew my tube. So if you might not need to flip it. If you're quite confident just folding and sewing, that's fine. But just make sure that you are doing 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, otherwise your beads won't fit through. And then back stitch at the end. And then what you want to do is that you want to turn your tube through, and I'm going to show you my my little special way of doing that. So here's my fabulous little tool. It's kind of like a straw and a chopstick. So what you do is you put the straw end into your fabric, and then you push the chopstick end. You use that to push the fabric into the straw, like so, and then you just kind of keep going. Pull all of your fabric through the straw till you get to the end. Obviously this is quite a long tube, so it takes a little while, and then just, can you see it kind of come, there you go, ha ha, until you push it through, and then just pull your tube through, and look at that, it's like magic, isn't it? It's kind of all the right way around. So easy way to make your tube. And then if you want to, you can pop this over to the ironing board and just give it a little iron. You don't have to do that because the beads will smooth it out as they go in, but you might find it a bit easier to put the beads in if you iron it. So I am just going to go and do that now. Okay, so I've given that a lovely iron, and then I folded it in half, and then I'm going to just pop a pin in so I know that that's the middle. And then in one of the open ends, you're going to pop your bead in. Now it's going to be a snug fit, but it should just about fit in. Okay, and then you just want to push it through, give it a good firm push all the way through until you get to that halfway mark. And as I said, it should be quite a snug fit, but it should fit. There we go. And then once you get to the halfway mark, you're going to push your bead so your bead's on the halfway mark, and you're going to knot it at that side. And then you're going to knot it, just a normal knot, the other side. And then you've got your centre bead. Can you see? Okay, you need to knot them quite firmly and make sure that you push the knots right up against the bead. And then what you're going to do, you're going to alternately, so you're going to put one bead this side and one bead that side, one bead this side, one bead that side, and each time you put the bead in, you're going to knot like so. So I've kept going and kept going, and I've actually put 9 beads in. So I've put my centre bead in, and then I've put 4 either side because I think that that looks quite nice, and then that gives me a nice length at the end to tie around my neck. And then you just need to tuck the ends in about 1/2 inch in at both ends to neaten them up, and then you can just sew them, or you could just put you could hand sew them, you could sew them on the sewing machine, or you could just put your snap straight onto them, because once you put your snap into it, it's not going to open. But I'm just going to neaten mine up, and I'm just going to quickly sew them on my sewing machine. There we go. Probably be better if I brought my snips over with me rather than my pinking shears, but hey ho, you use what you've got. There we go. And then you need to put the snaps on. Okay, so you need to make sure that the snaps go on so you can do it up. So you need to have a negative and a positive, a male and a female touching each other, so that you can do up your necklace. So I'm just going to pop a hole in the end there. You do get a special tool with the snap fastener machine, but I actually find that my seam ripper works well, so I use that. And of course you've always got your seam ripper to hand, so just pop that one in there loosely. I haven't tightened it yet. And then obviously this one I want to go in the other way, so I want the bottom of the snap to go in the other side. Okay, and then before you tighten them, just check that you've got a male and a female. And then you use your, if you've not used one of these before, they're dead easy to use. You've got like a little disc plate in the bottom. You put the top of your cap into that plate, make sure it's lined up, and then give it a good old squeeze. Two-handed squeeze is the best. Got to give it a bit of welly. Same goes for this one. And I do find if you've ever used one of these and you find that your snap doesn't quite work, try and give it another squeeze, because I think sometimes it doesn't work if you've not quite squeezed it hard enough. So there we go, give it a good squeeze, and then it should go together. There we go. Ooh, should just snap together like that. And there is your Scrappy beaded necklace. How simple was that? I hope you enjoyed that quick tutorial. So it's a lovely, sustainable, eco-friendly gift, which is very in at the moment, to give sustainable jewellery as a gift. Eco-friendly presents, makes them really quick and simple. You can batch sew them, you can make, oh, I should imagine you could probably make about 10 in a couple of hours in an afternoon. Fabulous make and great for gifts. So thanks ever so much for joining me on the hashtag A Gift to November. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I pop new content on. So if I pop on a new tutorial, you'll find out about it. So again, please don't forget to watch all of the other lovely vloggers that are vlogging for A Gift to November. I've got some great ideas out of it, and happy sewing.